This podcast is a real reflection of what my real intention is. I want to connect with you. When we start streaming, I want to talk to you as we podcast. I want to read comments. I want to answer emails. I want to connect with you. Social media. If you see the posts I write, Eric_Big Mood Coach. If you see the posts I write, the posts are very vulnerable and long and honest. Because I want to connect with you. I want you to read that and say, I felt that too. If he can do it, I can do it. I'm like him. He's like me. I want to connect with you, but I have this lone wolf mentality where I can play the victim. Nobody likes me. It's simply not true. It's simply not true. I wouldn't podcast if I didn't want to connect, I wouldn't go to 12-step if I didn't want to connect. And that's honestly the one thing I love about 12-step is that when I go there, I feel like, fuck. Even though I don't look the same because there's a lot of white people, I feel the same. And I hear my story told over and over and over again. And that means I'm human. You're a human, dude. You're not an alien. So much of my life, I feel like, oh my God, people are looking at me. I'm an alien. I'm a weirdo. Which I'm pretty weird. I think I'm pretty fucking weird. But excuse me, breathing on the mic. That's real professional. Maybe they'll edit that out. But this lone wolf thing is a trauma response from my childhood, I'll tell you a little bit about the sexual trauma. There was this guy, Ryan. Shout out to all the people who were molested. No, but this guy, Ryan, I was about 6. And he would sit me on his lap and whisper like crazy shit into my ear. And then other things. And, as I got older, he would show me porn and he would tell me how to masturbate. And like, it was crazy. I didn't really think of it until I was 25, right? Like, I just thought of that. Like, I kind of knew, I was like, yeah, Ryan was a weirdo. He was my friend. I thought he was like an older guy that was my friend. But he was older than my brother. And my brother's 5 years older than me. So, and when I was 6 or 7 or 8, he was 20. So anyway, I think that led to that feeling of aloneness, that of loneliness. That led to the feeling like what he was telling me in my ear already made me feel different. What he was whispering to me made me feel, I was like, fuck, is this the case? I'll tell you what he said. He would be like, Eric, you don't know this yet, but you're gay and I'm going to do. Never like dudes. Way to tell a kid something that's not even true. Fucking asshole. But anyway, he would, and that by just that simple phrase made me feel like just so isolated. And then then in school being the only black kid and then the mental illness further isolated me and made me feel alone. But I want to connect with you. And all the things that I just mentioned, sexual trauma, you experienced it. I know many of you have. Racism or prejudice because of your race. A lot of you felt that. Sexism, maybe because of your sex or your sexual orientation. A lot of you have felt that. Sexual abuse, mental illness, depression, making you feel isolated. That is one of the huge telltale signs of depression is isolation. So these are all things. I tell you these things because I want to connect with you. And I've learned to, this, my friend would talk about tools. Like she learned these tools in life. And some of them she has a hatchet and she has a hammer. She has a saw. But then she has spiritual tools, like healthy tools, like communication, intimacy, spirituality, meditation, fellowship. She has all these spiritual tools. And for me, that lone wolf is is a hatchet or a saw that cuts between you and I. That lone wolf thing keeps me safe. If you can't get too close to me, you can't judge me, you can't leave me, you can't hurt me. And also